Hey guys, so today I'm down at Jaguar Land Rover in Boston where they very kindly lent me this gorgeous I-Pace. Now it's Jaguar's first ever fully electric performance SUV and it's also my first go in a Jaguar and a fully electric car, so it's first for both of us. But let's go have a look around and take it out and see how we get on. Let's go. Now overall looks, like I say, they have sloped the back down lovely, so it gives it that really hunkered down sporty look without making it look too big and bulky and boring. So it's giving all those sharp lines and curves and edges that really sort of make it stand out. I mean, for me there's a bit of a high sort of wheel arch drop there, but again, with the performance of the car, you're not going to really complain about that when it's doing what it should be doing. Now at the front you can see again they've made the most of those really sharp flowing edges, all that are actually doing a purpose as well. So they have that aerodynamic purpose that are going to make and increase the performance of the car. But I think it's a really good car to look at. I mean, it doesn't look huge, it doesn't look boring, it looks sporty, it looks sexy, and it's going to stand. So to give you a bit of an overview of inside, you can just see that beautiful leather interior. It's sporty, it's quality, it's seamless, it's just Jaguar all over. And you've got some really cool like little handles there. But again, look at the room in the back. I mean, I'd be quite happy sat in the back of here for a long journey. And I've just noticed there's rear heated seats as well. What a luxury. Now of course the big test of all SUVs is the boot space. So I'm going to give that a good 10 out of 10 for boot space. I mean, it's not as tall as maybe some of the SUVs, but it's long enough to make it sort of a good sized boot for sure. Being an electric, it's very strange pressing the start button and there being no exhaust noise, but let's give it a go then. So pop it into drive. It's too quiet, I can't get used to this. Oh my god. It almost sounds a little bit like a spaceship, but I mean, it's so smooth. Wow. I mean, pretty much instantly you can feel the quality in the cockpit. I mean, the steering wheel is so lovely to hold. The seats are very comfortable, but they still feel sporty. The car doesn't feel immensely huge as I thought it would with it being an SUV. It feels kind of that nice in between of you've got the space, but it doesn't feel like you're driving a bus. Okay, let's put our foot down and see. Flipping heck. Okay, that's quick. It doesn't feel like a car this size should go that quickly, and because like you say there's no exhaust noise, there's no engine sort of going in the background as you accelerate, you actually don't realise how quickly you're going and how quickly you get there. I mean, if it wasn't for the heads-up display, I think it'd be quite easy to get caught speeding in this. Just that power. I'd actually like to get one of these on track because the handling in this as well, it does have a little bit of roll. I mean, it's an SUV, so it's not going to handle like a supercar will. It's that bit bigger, it's got that weight added to it, so it's not going to be like, for the expectations and for the rivals and the market it's looking at, it's at top of its game. This thing flies. I mean, it's 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds, so that's quick. You've got about 400 brake horsepower in this car and a lot of torque, so I believe it's 695 newton meters of torque. Throughout, like I said, no lag and acceleration, that it's constantly there. The torque is equally distributed. The wheelbase, and they've got a near perfect weight distribution for the torque. And what that has done is help create a more sportier performance feel of the SUV and the electric combined. And with that, it means that the handling should be a lot more grounded. It shouldn't be rolling as much as maybe your other large SUVs do. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Meow. Oh. See that handling around that roundabout? Literally insane. You don't expect a car of this size to handle that well. Now the range on these cars stated on Jaguar's website is 290 miles. To be fair, 290 miles in some of your other performance cars, that's kind of a similar range you'd get even in the petrols. And whether or not you actually get 290 miles of range per full charge, I guess it depends how you drive, if you help with all the power saving things. Now the electric system on the car is constantly using brake regeneration, driving style, preconditioning, all sort of clever technology to help make the most out of your charge. And I mean, I've been driving around for about half an hour now, and I mean I haven't been holding back that much either actually, and I've used about 10 miles of range. So I'd say that's pretty good. I mean, I haven't got any other electric driving experience to compare it to, but for what my expectations were for electrics, I'm very impressed. So like I was saying, inside is just a lovely place, and as you can see, the steering wheel, it's actually a really good size and suits the car. It's very comfortable to hold. It does have all your sort of settings and cruise control. Again, heated steering wheel, guys, lane assist, obviously your telephone controls. But one of my favourite bit is this. So this is your climate control settings. So a little touch screen here, and it just looks really cool. Obviously we have, this is your gearbox here. So again, it's just a few buttons. So it keeps a nice sleek look and appeal. And of course, cup holders always essential, and a nice little key holder there as well. So the infotainment system, it does have the Meridian audio, which makes the quality of the sound really good. Everything is really straightforward laid out, so it makes it nice and easy that even an idiot could use it. Obviously, we've got things like you can connect your phone to it through Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, and also this car, it does have Preview Pro infotainment system, which makes it just so simple to use like an iPhone. Things I'd change about the car itself, I mean, it's actually really difficult because you've got to remember the car in its market. You can't go criticising it and comparing it to the Lotus or a hot hatchback, because that's not what the car is looking for. It's not who Jaguar are expecting to buy that type of car. It's not the same thing. It's like comparing, I can't think of anything. It's like comparing a shoe to a bar of chocolate. They're not in the same league. I think I go right here. I mean, I'm doing good for the planet. 0 tailpipe emissions. And I look stylish while doing it. And also having fun, so that's the main part about driving. Since heated steering wheels seem to be sort of like my favourite test, this one passes with flying colours. So the car does have torque vectoring as well, so it really helps with that agility and cornering of the car. It also has adaptive dynamics, so it's constantly monitoring the acceleration, your braking, your driving style, and working that all out to deliver the best performance the car can for you. And it also has electronic air suspension, so what that does is when you're travelling over speeds of 65 miles an hour, it lowers the car by 10 millimeters. So it's helping again with the centre of gravity and really hunkering down the car to maximise the performance it can get. So the technology that Jaguar have added to this, it all has that one focus in mind, making it a better drivable performance car. With it being an SUV, obviously it's a sports utility vehicle. So they've kept that sport aspect, they've increased the performance, and they've kept the practicality. So even though it's quite a big car, they've trimmed the waistline, they've made it nice and sweeping, and kept it so it still doesn't look like some giant box. It's sleek, it's sexy, it's a good looking car. Whereas sometimes I think with some SUVs, they do just look like a giant box with 4 wheels and headlights. they've really had the focus on the S out of the SUV, so they've really kept that sport aspect to it. During traffic, it's really nice because it's just so quiet and you're not hearing the auto go constantly. It's just bliss. Okay, so now you get to judge my driving, but it does have the really smart sort of like reversing system. I've just turned the windscreen wipers on. So it's got the reversing camera, it shows you sort of a bird's eye view of the car as well, which is very cool. Very helpful as well. I would definitely have one of these as a practical car for me. As a petrol head, I think it's not ready to make that change just yet. I think at the moment, society hasn't got the infrastructure for electric quite there yet. So it's going to limit the market that it'll be available to. Obviously, if you're doing lots of miles or you're in an area like us for Lincolnshire, there's pretty much no charging stations anywhere, and it's not going to be as suitable for that. But I think Jaguar have nailed the car, and when the infrastructure comes into place, it's going to be in its element, and for the market it's in, I think it's at the top of it. So to conclude my Jaguar I-Pace review, fantastic car. The electric has pleasantly surprised me. It's great quality. I love the whole Jaguar feel of it and the looks of the car, and just come on society, let's get electric to the point where we can make the most of the cars that are being produced. So yeah. So you guys know the drill. To make my journey your journey and see more like this, like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.